This is Maya speaking. Finally, I'd like to introduce Dany Acosta, who is a true mentorship coordinator at the Lynn Family Resource Center, and who will talk about what it's like to live with a disability.
All right, thank you very much. And man, can we just give an applause to all the people that have been speaking today and are amazing and awesome interpreters? I think they've been doing an amazing job, guys. That's really good. And I want to thank the millions of you that are joining us. And by millions, I mean the 8 of you on Facebook, the 20-something of us on the Zoom call, and maybe the 10,000 of you on YouTube. I'm having a lot of fun. I don't know about you guys. My name is Dany Acosta. I am the True Mentorship Coordinator in Lynn Family Resource Center. And I have a privilege and an honor to be able to share my experience as a blind and also a kidney transplant patient individual with you. I'm going to share a little bit about my experience with school. And before I jump into it, I also want to acknowledge, and let me just pause. I am your ASL interpreter. And although there are 2 of us on this call right now, I am the best one of the 2. There are millions of ASL interpreters around the world, but the one that you see here is the best. So you're welcome. With that said, I hope that made some of you smile. If you get it, you get it. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about my experience. So some of you might be wondering, well, what is it actually like to be blind, right? Well, I haven't always been blind. I grew up and eventually I lost my sight as a young adult. It literally happened in 3 weeks, okay? Went completely blind in 3 weeks from not having any eye issues to complete blindness. And I also got chronic kidney failure. I was on dialysis for 6 years until I received a kidney transplant. But in the midst of all of that, I had several surgeries. In 7 months, when I got blind, I had 19 surgeries. I was hospitalized 13 times, had a stroke, 2 seizures, and even had both of my eyes removed. Difficult, extreme. But I want to share with you, by faith and not by sight. We all go through different things. And I want to share 3 points with you that I hope will be able to encapsulate my experience for all of you. Process, perseverance, and purpose. Right now, I am actually a published author, a poet, a spoken word artist, and I mentor young guys from ages 8 to 18. And you're probably asking, well, how is this possible if you're completely blind? You probably go to a special blind school, right? I know some of you have probably heard that. How do you read your books? Oh, they probably take it easy on you because you have a disability. No, I had to do APA formatting, MLA formatting, just like all of you. You see all the heads nodding up and down? Yup, that's right. It's not that easy. I have to do everything you have to do. It just takes me a little longer to do it, but I can sure do it because we all go through a process. See, guys, I graduated from North Shore Community College in Massachusetts with a 3.94 GPA and was commencement speaker for graduation, a class of 2018. I was Salem State University graduate, also commencement speaker in 2021, this year, with a 3.9 GPA. But I didn't do it alone because nobody does. So let me share with you some of the processes that I went through with my experience. Having to do television and radio as a completely blind individual, having to know where is the camera, having to know where are certain areas, my microphone, where am I supposed to look at? When people want to take pictures with you, but they point the camera and they don't tell you you're looking the wrong direction or your eyes are closed. And that's just in school. That's even before starting. That's not to mention the headaches of the ride, how on time and punctual those guys are, right? And the inaccessibility of when they can't find you, you can't find them. They never answer the phone when you need them, right? And that's just trying to get to school. And then you get there and you're a brand new student. You're trying to figure out the map. Maybe you had some orientation and mobility training, but all of a sudden you go into the building and guess what? There's a fair for all organizations. Now you have to figure out the labyrinth. How in the world do I navigate a labyrinth that I've never learned before? A brand new map. Processes. What process are you going through right now? What is the difficulty of your process? See, the difference between you and many people out there is that you know that your process is only temporary. It's not permanent. It's not forever. It's only an example of what you're capable of overcoming, doing, and breaking the barriers and the obstacles that are put before you. But my question to you is, have you given up? Or are you ready to take up your torch and say, but I'm not giving up. I'm never looking back. I'm moving forward. And if I dare look back, I will look at my reflection and remind myself of what I've gone through. Because we all go through processes. See, there's processes we go through at home as students. Sometimes your mom, maybe your parents, maybe older siblings, somebody wants to do everything for you. I'll do it. Oh, I'm going to go do this. I'll do it, right? So to those parents listening to this, make sure you give your youth an opportunity to overcome those. For the first time, they're saying, let me put my hands on this and let me try it out. And when you take that away from them, you're taking the little effort they're willing to put in certain areas. And sometimes it's huge effort. But don't strip them away from that opportunity by saying that you can do it for them. See, I got trained at the Carroll Center for the Blind in Newton, Massachusetts, thanks to the Mass Commission for the Blind. I graduated with a bachelor's degree and an associate, completely debt-free. How many people can say that? Where are you in your finances? Well, how does he do it? How can he even read money? Well, there's technology, but we'll get to that in a moment. What about books? We all got to read textbooks in school, right? We all got to read through all of these PDF files and articles, and we all got to do the research, all of us. I'm not excluded because of my visual impairment or disability. Oh, you best bet I was doing dialysis the entire time. Oh yeah. 3 times a week, 4 hours each, needles in my arm for 4 hours each time I was there, removing liters of toxics from my bloodstream. But there's nothing impossible. That did not hold me back. See, my disability is not based on my visual impairment. I am not disabled by my visual impairment. I am disabled by the things that are not made accessible to me. When a website is not accessible, that wants to bring out my disability. But it was not me who disabled me. It was not my visual impairment who disabled me. It was the inaccessibility of what people can make accessible that held me back. But you know what? It's still not impossible because there is always a way. There are resources, right? What about teachers? You're doing a math class. I want you to do this exercise really quick with me. Why don't you close your eyes? Just close your eyes for a second, okay? And for those of us that are visually impaired, it's okay. And for those of you that are hard of hearing or deaf, feel free to keep your eyes open. Now watch. Check this out. A teacher says, okay, we're going to write the equation here, and we're going to get this number and move it this way. Then we're going to get this variable and move it over here. I can't see anything she just said. I don't understand it. Feel free to open your eyes. Imagine that. The situations that we have to find ourselves sometimes without understanding in class, when they do group activities in class. And guess what? The blind guy has to just sit to the side and enjoy the moment while everybody else gets to get involved. Inaccessibility. But why do these things happen when professors should be trained to know how to make everything accessible? Yes, even group engagements and team building. You know what's amazing too? I want you to picture this. I'm walking into a classroom. It's the beginning of the semester, and I'm tapping my cane left, right, trying to find a classroom. Oh, and you best believe there's buildings out there that still don't have Braille. And they think that by having raised lettering, they've solved the problem, but it hasn't, because much of this raised lettering are cut up letters. And I walk into a room, and everybody's laughing and joking around. But as soon as they hear my cane, guess what happens? They all quiet down, as if it wasn't already weird. And then you walk in and everybody's like really quiet, just looking at you like you're some strange alien from some other universe. And you're bumping into people's backpacks and slamming books on the floor because they're falling. And I'm like, oh, excuse me, sorry. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay. But nobody even dares to get up and help you find a chair. The inaccessibility that a life has to offer is a plethora and a myriad of diversity within those that have not the guts or the courage, sometimes even the boldness. I don't know who's more disabled, the person that can't find the chair or the person that won't get up to help the person find the chair. Isn't it interesting? But I want to encourage you because it's not all bad. Point number 2, perseverance. We all need it. Every single one of you watching right now are going through a process in life, but we all need perseverance. It gets us from point A to point B. It bridges the gap between where we are to our destination, our purpose. Do you have perseverance? I want you to look at yourself in the mirror, in that camera, wherever any reflection that you possibly can. And if you're visually impaired just like me, I want you to just imagine how amazing you are. And tell that person, you will not give up. You can do this. You are not disabled. You can enable others. Yes, even if you have a disability, you can enable others. It is not impossible. There are many resources in schools like disability services. Yes, there are a lot of people that don't want to go to disability services. There are plenty. But I want to encourage all of you watching right now. They are there for a purpose and a reason. They are there to be part of your team. Think of a boxing ring. A boxer, after every round, has to go back to his corner. Who do you have in your corner? Who is the person you go to seek for resources? They're not going to do it for you, but they do it with you. That's what disability services is about. To enable those that have become disabled from the inaccessibility that schools have. Other resources include apps such as Be My Eyes, where there are volunteers, where you press a button, you call, all of a sudden a volunteer pops up on your cell phone, on your smartphone, through a camera, and begins to describe to you anything and everything you need. Hey, are these the right medications I need to take? How many milligrams are there? Hey, what color is this shirt? Because I don't want to wear a blue shirt with purple pants. Are my socks mixed matching? Am I wearing black shoes or gray shoes? Because they're the same ones, but I don't know if they're the same color. And I don't want to mix them up. I don't want to look like a clown going to school today. It's not mixed match day at universities, right? But we all have people who help us. At Salem State University, I had the amazing Jennifer McDowell, who would help me every single day. At North Shore Community College, I had an amazing, just a dear of a person who would also help me make all my textbooks accessible. Mass Commission for the Blind has assisted me. Carroll Center for the Blind has, there's a bunch of people out there that are ready to help you and encourage you and push you forward to let you know that it is all possible. Yes, even through kidney failure and transplant. You know what, guys? Let me tell you something. My disability tried to touch my education. My disability tried to touch everything around me. My family, my blindness tried to touch my purpose. My blindness tried to strip me and take me away from being happy and joyful. But you know what it couldn't touch? It couldn't touch my purpose. It couldn't touch my life. It couldn't touch my faith, because I know I'm going somewhere. I know that I can make it. I know it's difficult when you're the only person with a disability in your family, because everyone wants to do it for you. I understand. Trust me, I'm the first blind and kidney failure person in my family. But you know what's amazing? It turns out that I'm the one motivating them. Yes, I am a motivational speaker nationwide and an evangelist. But even in the midst of all of this, I help people organize themselves. I just launched a brand new YouTube series called Envision, where I help people become organized and get prepared for school. Because why not? Why shouldn't the blind person be able to restore vision to those that are sighted but cannot understand, or identify the things that are placed before them, but it seems like they're blind to it? Why shouldn't the blind help those who are sighted have vision for how to enable the things that are made inaccessible? Yeah, it took me a little more time than everybody else, but you know what? I still did it. Yes, I am blind. And although I may never be able to see you smile, I can sure make you smile. I may not have sight, but I have vision for life. And I don't want you guys to give up. Being blind, having what people call disabilities. Yeah, it's difficult. But aren't we the most resilient and adaptive people in the world? Don't we show humanity that there is still hope no matter what we go through? Don't we show all mankind and all around the earth that we are pinpoints of life on this earth, ready to transform, restore, and change the world and leave our footprint. There might be a footprint on the moon from astronauts, but what footprint are you going to leave? What legacy will you leave on this earth? And I want to conclude with this. Here in my hands, I have a white cane. And by the way, I apologize that I didn't describe myself. I am a Latinx male. I have light skin, brown hair, blue, green, amber eyes, because they're prosthetics, so I can. Yeah. And just another perk, right? But here I have a white cane. Now this white cane is completely white, has a black handle, looks painted red. It has a little marshmallow on the tip, right? If you're hungry, I'm sorry. But what is it really? See, guys, this white cane is a lot like you. You all go through processes in life. It went from an idea to paper to different shapes, different models, different sizes. But just like you, the creators could have been like, you know what? I give up, fold it up, put it under your bed. But you had to have perseverance in life. You had to say, I'm never giving up in life. I'm not going to give up no matter what I have to encounter. Sure, I can use it as a doorstop or a weapon, but it's not fulfilling its purpose until it takes me from point A to point B. What is your purpose? Do you know your purpose? If you're like me, your purpose just may be to motivate people and inspire people all around the world to change lives, one person at a time, to restore vision to those who may be spiritually blind or blind to the inaccessibility of life. If we can just make the world a lot more accessible, person by person, we can change the world forever. The world should not be made for people with abilities, because we all have them, all of us. I want to end with this little quote that I said once, and I continue to use it. When you walk into a room, we will never cause discord. We will always cause an encore. When we walk around, we will no longer walk discouraged, but we will walk to encourage. And wherever we are, may we let people know that we are not disabled, but that we are enabled, because we can do all things. There is nothing impossible. And therefore I walk by faith and not by sight. And I have my social media. If you guys want to follow me, if you see my username here on Zoom, if you go to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, look up Dany Acosta Official, you can find me. And if you want to go to my website where I have all my social media as well, it's DanyAcosta.com, 1N, D-A-N-Y, Acosta.com. Thank you so much for the privilege and the honor of allowing me to speak to all of you. And thank you so much also to our ASL interpreters who are amazing, beautiful, and so unique to be able to transmit, transcend the power that we have all together. When we work, we are united. And when we are united, we are one. And together, we will get to our purpose. Thank you guys. God bless you all.